Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive with us. Today we're looking at something a little different, something called 50 Thoughtful Journal Prompts. It's a blog post by Clara Penrose from a website called Listallion.
Listallion.
Yeah, and they seem to be all about journals, which makes sense, but even if you're someone who just likes to scribble thoughts down on like a napkin or something, these prompts are seriously useful.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that because people always think you need some kind of fancy notebook for journaling, but really it's all about what you're doing. It's the process of self-discovery.
Yeah.
And these prompts, they're not really about what happened during your day. They're more about like why things make you tick.
Okay, let's break down what we've got here. Clara has these prompts organized around themes, like self-awareness, gratitude, relationships, personal growth, and even dreams and aspirations. It's like she's gone and mapped out all the areas in life where just a little bit of introspection could make a big difference.
Exactly. I mean, these themes, they're not just like buzzwords. They're really fundamental to how we grow with individuals. Whether you're trying to get a new job or simply just feel more content, it always starts with understanding yourself.
Yeah, I love that. So let's jump into self-awareness. Some of these prompts are like, they really make you think, like, what is one word that describes how I feel today and what has contributed to that feeling? I feel like we rarely just stop and actually try to put our emotions into words like that.
Right. Yeah, it's like checking your emotional temperature. So you're not just like feeling stressed, you're figuring out what caused it.
Yeah.
And that is so important for making better decisions. Imagine using this prompt after you have a really tense meeting at work. Instead of just feeling overwhelmed, you can pinpoint exactly what triggered you, and then you can make a plan for next time, how to handle it better next time.
I had thought of like that. So journaling becomes like a problem-solving tool, not just venting.
Exactly. And there's another one here that's kind of similar. Think about my inner dialogue. Are my thoughts kind or critical, and how does that affect my actions? We all have that little voice in our head. But are we really aware of how mean it can be sometimes?
Oh, yeah. My inner critic
Yeah.
can get pretty loud sometimes. But how does writing about that actually help?
Well, think of it like shining a light on those thought patterns that you aren't even aware of. Once you see them, once you're aware of your inner critic, you can start to challenge that negativity.
Okay.
And that can lead to more self-compassion. And it can even change how you interact with other people.
So it's not just about understanding ourselves.
Yeah.
It's about improving our relationships.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good way to move into the next theme. Gratitude. What really struck me here is that these prompts go beyond just the typical, like, what am I thankful for today?
Yeah. There's one that says, list 3 small moments from this week that brought me joy. It reminds you that happiness isn't always about these huge events or things. It's about savoring those small wins.
Okay. But how does writing those things down actually change anything?
Well, it's training your brain to focus on the positive. Neuroscientists have shown that practicing gratitude literally rewires your brain, making you more optimistic and resilient over time.
Wow. It's like a happiness hack. And there's another prompt here I like. Write about a skill or talent I'm proud to have. It's so easy to focus on our flaws. It's nice to celebrate our strengths for once.
Oh, for sure. Especially if you tend to struggle with imposter syndrome. Think about using that prompt after a project where you were doubting yourself the whole time. Writing about your strengths can be so powerful. It can really help with that self-doubt.
That's a really good point. Okay, so before we get too deep into gratitude, let's move on to relationships.
Yeah.
Because some of these prompts are surprisingly insightful.
Yeah, like this one. Reflect on a time I supported someone close to me. How did it strengthen our bond, and what did I learn about myself?
It's interesting, because usually we focus on what others do for us, not so much on how we contribute to the relationship.
Exactly. And when we analyze how we support other people, we actually learn more about ourselves, our own values and strengths. It also helps us to be more aware of how much we're giving, instead of always expecting something in return.
It's like journaling helps us become better partners, better friends, better family members, just because we took the time to think about our actions.
That's the beauty of introspection. It affects every part of our lives. Yeah, it's amazing how thinking about things like that can really change how we connect with others.
And speaking of growth, that's our next theme, right?
Yeah. Honestly, some of these personal growth prompts, kind of scary, but in a good way, like this one. What's one thing I've let go of recently? How did it lighten my emotional load? And what did I gain in return?
Wow.
Whoa.
But think about it this way. We tend to hold on to things, grudges and regrets, even just stuff, things that just weigh us down.
Yeah.
When you write about letting go, It helps you see what's holding you back. You know what? I've been meaning to clean out my closet for ages. Maybe that's a sign. But seriously, this prompt makes you realize that letting go isn't just about physical things. It's about emotional stuff, too.
For sure. And what I really like about this prompt is that it makes you think about the good side of letting go. What did you gain by getting rid of that burden? Did you get peace of mind,
Absolutely.
a new way of looking at things, maybe even the space to try something new?
Okay. I'm sold. Add that one to my list. What else stood out to you in this section?
This one. Reflect on my morning routine. How does it support my goals, and what small changes could enhance it? Sounds really simple, but your morning routine really sets the tone for your whole day.
Yes, I am so bad at mornings.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I get it. If I start my day feeling rushed and stressed, it just goes downhill from there.
Exactly. This prompt helps you to be intentional about your morning. Does it energize you? Does it set you up for success? Or do you feel drained before you even start your day? Even small changes, like adding a quick meditation or just eating a healthy breakfast, can make such a difference.
Yeah. It's about setting ourselves up for success right from when we wake up. Okay. Ready for the final frontier? Dreams and aspirations.
Yeah.
These prompts, they're almost magical, like they're giving us permission to dream big.
I like that you said permission, because so often we think our dreams are unrealistic or that we can't achieve them. Prompts like this one. Reflect on a dream I've always had. Why does it matter? And what small step can I take toward it today? Encourage us to acknowledge those dreams and then start taking action.
I think that's what makes these prompts so powerful. They don't just make you think, they make you do something.
Exactly. That's what real growth is all about, reflection and action. And this next prompt goes even further. Imagine my future self 5 years from now. What advice would they give me, and how can I honor their wisdom? Like you're getting your news from your wisest self.
Whoa. That's kind of freaky, but cool.
Yeah.
We all have this inner mentor just waiting for us to listen.
Right. When we imagine our future selves, we see our goals more clearly and our values. It helps us to make choices today that line up with the person we want to be.
It's like we're creating a roadmap for our future.
Exactly. Oh, and this one's important too. Think about a time I didn't achieve a goal. What did I learn, and how can I approach future aspirations differently? This one reminds us that we're going to mess up sometimes, but those mistakes are really valuable.
So true. It's easy to focus on the negative, but there's always something to learn.
Yeah. By looking at our past failures, we can see patterns in how we act and then change our approach. Turn those failures into stepping stones.
I love that. So after all these prompts, what's the biggest takeaway for you?
You know, what really stands out to me is how these prompts blend thinking and doing. They help us to think differently, but they also push us to live differently. And that's what makes them so powerful.
Totally. It's not just about filling up a notebook. It's about creating a life that you love.
Yeah.
It's like journaling becomes this amazing tool for self-discovery and personal growth all in one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just about writing down what happened. It's about really thinking about our thoughts and feelings and hopes and dreams and using that to build a life we love.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener? We encourage you to try out these 50 journal prompts. See what you discover.
Yeah. Pick a few that speak to you. Find a quiet spot and just start writing. You might be surprised by what comes up.
And remember, there's no right or wrong way to journal. Just be honest with yourself. Let those thoughts and feelings flow.
Yeah. And we should mention that Listallion, where this blog post is from, they do sell journals.
Right. It makes sense. They give us all these great prompts. And maybe now we're all inspired to start writing. So
Yeah.
if you're interested, check out their website, see
Yeah.
what they have. But
Yeah.
even if you're more of a napkin scribbler, the important thing is to just start writing.
Exactly. Anyone can journal anywhere, anytime. All you need is something to write with, something to write on,
Yeah.
and an open mind.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into these journal prompts, we want to leave you with one final question.
Yeah. What area of your life could use a little reflection right now? Your relationships, your career, personal growth, maybe those dreams you've been putting off.
Take a moment, think about where you want to focus, and then use these prompts to explore and grow.
Remember, even small steps can lead to big changes.
So grab a journal or a napkin, start writing your story. Happy journaling.